Good morning. This is Paul Romero with the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training number, excuse me, 79, I believe we are. Yeah. My gosh. Yeah, 79. And sorry, 5 minutes late. Word of warning for you guys today. Watch out. This is going to be one of those days where you're totally prepared, or at least you think you're totally prepared, and the next thing you know, bam, you're running late. So that's what happened. I was totally prepared here, and next thing I know, I look up, it's 7 o'clock, and what happens? I go to start this thing at like right on time at 8 o'clock, and 7 o'clock my time because I'm on Pacific. This is 8 o'clock Mountain time that we're starting this. I go to start it, and what's wrong? My computer's froze up. It won't do anything. So I got to shut it down, restart it, and here we are, 6 minutes later. Bingo! There you go. That's what your day is going to be like. So watch out. All right. Gonna rehash. Not quite sure how far I got. I think I finished reviewing napkin presentation number 3, but we're going to rehash it anyway. All right. Here's the deal. You've gone through napkin presentation number 2. We showed you that is what you are showing your prospect that they want to do. This is what you want to do. Okay. Get 5 people. Then we showed you napkin presentation number 2, which is what you don't want to do. Don't run out there and try to sell the world. Don't run out there and try to recruit everybody that there is. Remember napkin presentation number 1. You want 5 serious people, period. That's it. Don't go any further than that. You get 5 people, stop looking for more. That's the thing, okay? So those are the 2 things that you want to do in network marketing. That's what you want to do and what you don't want to do in network marketing. Now with napkin presentation number 3, what we talk about here is the 4 things that you have to do if you want to be successful in network marketing. And we started out with the very first thing you have to do is you have to get in. You have to get in, you have to get started. What we mean by that is, and we've associated this to a road trip, something everybody can understand, get in the car and going from point A to point B, which we talked about being, okay, from rainy, snowy, wherever it is that you live in the middle of the country. And if you're on the beach already, well, good for you. But we talked about going from rainy, snowy. I happen to be in Lake Tahoe, California right now, where, yeah, it's snowy and about 12 degrees outside. I'd love to be on the beach in San Diego this morning. That's my road trip, okay? Use yours wherever you want to go, wherever sunny place you want to be, or maybe you're an opposite person. Maybe you're at the beach right now and you'd rather be skiing in Tahoe. You know, whatever you want to do. Point A to point B, that's the deal. And so getting in and getting started is what we talked about is your step 1 in chapter napkin presentation number 3. And some people will say, well, wait a second, before you get started on a road trip, before you even get started, you got to pack up the car. Well, you're packing up the car right now because you're thinking about what it is, you know, you're packing up your brain up here. You're thinking about what it is that you want, what it is that you need in life, right? Okay, so that's packing up the car. Once you've got that figured out and you settle out that, you know what, hey, I need to do something, I need to change something, then you have to get in and you have to get started, okay? So getting in means basically you have to join, you have to sign up, you have to pay, whatever it is that it takes to get into the program. That's getting in, all right? And getting started is beginning your education. You have to start learning about your product and service. You have to start learning, more importantly, about network marketing, what it is not, how it works, how you do it. So that's your getting in, getting started. Second thing you must do to be successful in network marketing is you're not going to get very far on a road trip if your gas tank looks like that, right? So you have to get your gas tank to look like this, and you do that by using your own product and service. This will do 2 things for you. Number 1, it will put you in good standing within the organization because now you are a user of the product, and that is one of the key elements of network marketing. You see, we're not out selling people because what we're doing is we're bringing people into the organization who are going to use the product and service. That's part of how network marketing grows. That's how obviously the company makes the money, because if there isn't product and service being used, there's nobody making any money, and this is a worthless endeavor. So in order to make network marketing work, you have to be a user of the product, which is why we talk about you finding your vehicle something that you're excited about, something that you're going to want to be using. All right. So now you got in, you got started, you got the tank filled up, and you're sitting there in the driveway stepping on the gas pedal, and you ain't going nowhere. What the heck? Well, the next thing you got to do in network marketing is once you got in, you learned. Oh, I'm sorry. And the second thing that using the product and service obviously is going to do for you is it's going to familiarize you and make you comfortable with talking about your product and service because you are a user of it. You know how it works. You know what the benefits are because you're using it. It just builds your confidence and allows you to become better and better at what you're doing in sponsoring people, which is what network marketing is all about. So number 3 thing that you have to do to get out of the driveway, obviously, is you have to put it in gear, right? Until you put it in gear, you're not going anywhere. All right. So what you have to do in order to get your thing going off the ground here is you got to get yourself into first gear, obviously. Now think about when you started to learn how to drive a stick shift. And a lot of you guys never even learned how to drive a stick shift. You've been automatic people all your life. Well, this network marketing thing is not, putting it in drive and stepping on the gas and hauling tail on down to the beach. All right, you have to work your way through the gears like you did in a stick shift, like you do in a stick shift, one by one. You have to physically yourself put it out of neutral and into first gear. All right, that's the first thing you have to. Then later on, you got to get it out of first gear and put it into second gear. Now, if you ever remember learning how to drive a stick shift, going from neutral to first gear to getting that car moving is the hardest part. A lot of times you kill it. It chugs along. You're jerky. You're doing all these things. Getting from neutral to first, getting this thing moving is the most difficult piece of the puzzle. All right. So now once you get it moving, so what you want to do in network marketing is you want to get into gear 5 times, okay? And what we mean by that is what we talked about in napkin presentation number 2. You want to sponsor 5 people. You want to find your 5 serious people. So getting into first gear is when you have found and sponsored your 5 people, okay? So the next thing you want to do is you want to get into second gear. And you want to get into second gear 25 times. And you do that by teaching your 5 people how they go out and sponsor their 5 people. Once your 5 have all of their 5, then you are in second gear, and you're in second gear 25 times. Okay, and again, think about learning how to drive that stick shift and use that clutch. Once you finally figured out how to get it in first gear and get the thing rolling, then shifting from first to second, that wasn't easy either. You had to figure out how many RPMs, when do you push in the clutch, how do you get into gear, you're grinding it along the way. You let it out, you're all jerky again. So going from first to second, obviously way easier than putting it from neutral into first and getting the whole thing rolling in the first place, but still an interesting little task that you have to perform in teaching your 5 people to go out and get their 5 people. Next thing you need to do is get into third gear, and you get into third gear 125 times, and you do that by training your 5 people now how to teach their 5 people, just as you taught them to go get their 5 people. You now have to train them to teach their 5 people how to go out and get their 5 people. That's where you get the 125 times. And again, reverting back to the vehicle, you're going from first to second, the most difficult part. Second to third, still kind of tough, figuring it out. Once you're in second, going from second to third, it definitely gets a lot easier, but still, you got to get that RPM thing right. You got to know when to push in the clutch. You got to know when to let it out so you're not grinding those gears a little bit. Maybe you're lugging it a little bit. It's, getting a little hard to go, things like that. So getting from second to third, still definitely going to take some work. These are the hardest 3 steps right here, 1, 2, 3. And 3 is the magic number in network marketing. As we talked about before, in chapter 2, the duplication thing, you're not duplicated until you have 3 people, right? Same thing goes here when you're getting into third gear. This is the most important part. Now, you ever notice when you're driving a car And first gear only goes so fast. I mean, you're going really, really slow. Second gear, you can go a little bit faster, but you're still going pretty slow, by highway standards. Third gear, you can usually put a vehicle in third gear. You can maintain highway speeds, but that thing is working hard, right? You're going to blow that thing up. You don't get out of third gear. So the next thing you got to do, obviously, is get yourself into fourth gear. And when you get yourself into fourth gear, that's going to happen 625 times, because getting into fourth gear means that you are now reverting back from the teaching to the training and back to the teaching, because now you have to teach your 5 people how to train their 5 people as you did. In other words, what you want to do is you want to get your 5 people to get their 5 people into third gear. No. Did I skip a step there? You want to, yeah, I'm sorry, I did skip a step there. This is where you want to train or teach your 5 people how they get into third gear, where you just were. And that's how you shift yourself from third to fourth, is getting your 5 people into third gear. Now, again, reaching level 3, once you've gotten into third gear, there's that magic number again. You've got yourself into third gear, you're moving this thing along really well, but what happens if you leave once you're in third gear? Well, if you're in third gear and your people, you've trained your people how to teach their people how to go get 5 people, right? Well, if it doesn't perpetuate further, if you leave the organization, your 5 people, well, they can only teach their 5 people, what they know so far, which isn't enough to generate down to the newest people that just came into the organization, and for them to be able to learn how to go out and get their 5 people. And so the whole thing, like I said, you're going to be driving down the highway pretty fast there. It's going to be working really hard, but you're going to blow it up. It's not going to, you're not going to get to the beach. You're going to find yourself stranded in the desert somewhere. So once you get to, fourth gear, by teaching your 5 people how they get into third gear, which obviously is by teaching them how to train their people, how to teach their people how to get 5 people. So now you're in there 625 times. This gives you, once you're in fourth gear, this gives you that magic number that we talked about in napkin presentation number 1, where when you add up everybody in the organization from each one of the levels, you have 780 people in your organization. And like we said, once you're in fourth gear, you're moving along pretty well. And shifting from third to fourth, if you think about the vehicle, it's almost a little bit more difficult to get it out of third gear than it is to actually put it into fourth gear. So that's where, like I said, this whole thing kind of reverts on you, where at the beginning, it's hard to get the thing going. Now it's almost difficult to get it out of, because third gear is an easy place to get stuck. So you have to keep going and keep educating your people on down the line. And then the final thing you want to do, that you have to do actually, is you got to get your people in, you got to get yourself into overdrive. And that is where you now get your 5 people how to teach their 5 people how to get into third gear. Now you're in cruise control. The numbers get astronomical over there. From the 780, it turns absolutely ridiculous, goes to 3,000 and to like 15,000 or something on the next 2 levels. So I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's actually really awesome. So that's how you get into overdrive in your network marketing organization. And now actually they talk about a little something else, about retailing. But I really think that, getting into fourth gear is continuing to move your organization, because as I talked about, network marketing is, the magic number is 3. First of all, you need 3 people. You need 3 levels deep in order to duplicate yourself. You have reached a plateau once you reach third gear, and you have found your 5, and you've taught them how to get their 5, and then you've trained them how to teach their 5 to go get their 5. That's when you reach third gear. Now the whole thing with network marketing is, it's about, like I said, 3 is the magic number. That's the first set of 3. The super, what puts you into, I would call it, not even cruise control, more like autopilot, is when you've repeated the whole system of getting yourself into third gear, which then means, you've gone one, two, three, and your next group of people, they've gone one, two, three as well. You've completely duplicated the first three steps of putting yourself in first gear within your organization. That's when you're really on autopilot. That's when you can actually really truly walk away from this 100%, disappear to your private island somewhere and never be seen again. And every time you look at your bank account, you're going to be seeing that more and more people are continuing to join in your organization, and there's more and more money in your bank account coming in every, week or whatever, because it's perpetuating on, without you 100%. I think up until that point, which this is being in overdrive is only 5 levels deep, not 6. I think until you reach that point, there's really the potential here for this thing to kind of go astray. But once you're in overdrive, it's very difficult for that to happen. So anyway, that's napkin presentation number 3. I want to say we're running out of time here. I want to invite a stranger to say hello to everybody. Haven't seen John in a while, so I want to let him get a chance to chime in here and give his little interpretation of what I've gone through. There's more here that I've thrown in. I kind of kept this really short and really right to the point of how it runs down, in the actual Own Your Life Plan book. So there's, like I said, if you look at yesterday, Fridays, last Wednesdays actually, I threw a lot of other stuff in here, but I'm not going to do that today. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to say good morning to John, and how's it going out there, pal?
Good morning, Paul. Dude, awesome presentation. We finally, after several weeks, you can't hear me? No volume?
I know hear you. Are you muted? Are you muted?
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? No?
Muted?
No.
Oh. Well, it's good to see your face anyway. Can't hear you today, but it's good to see your face. Give everybody a big hi and wave and smile, and we'll say, oh well, thanks for joining us anyway. All right, so then with that said, I'm going to run back to my little flashcards here real quick, and I want to show you one little thing here just to kind of outline this for you, what fifth gear looks like. And I know this is maybe kind of fuzzy to see, but when you've reached overdrive, is that what that is? Oh, I'm sorry, no. When you've reached what I call autopilot, right, what you have done is you have obviously learned from your sponsor how to get your 5. Then you've taught your people how to get their 5. Then you've trained your people how to go out and, you've trained your people how to teach their people how to go out and get their 5. Then you go back to training, where you have, or teaching, where you teach your people how to get themselves into 3rd gear, which puts you into 4th. Then you teach your people how to get themselves into 4th gear by teaching their people how to get into 3rd gear. And then the final step, once again, is when you teach your people how they get themselves into autopilot by teaching their people how to teach their people to get into 3rd gear. That's the autopilot mode. That's when you're soaring like an eagle and, like I said, you're living on the beach. And then the final step that they throw in here, as far as the last thing that you have to do to be successful, is what they call really, sharing with friends. You got in, you got started, you filled up with fuel, you're using the product and service, you are shifting through the gears in building your organization, and once you've got your organization pretty much built, and you're going to do this along the way actually, but when you're sharing with people, because not everybody's going to sign up, but a lot of people are going to love your product and service, not everybody's going to join your organization as far as a network marketing independent business owner, but a lot of people are going to like your product and service, and therefore they're going to sign up as a member and a user. And that's basically what retailing is when you're out there just signing up people that like your product and service, that want to use, in this particular case, want to have a gold and silver savings program, et cetera, and so on. And so that's kind of the last part, retailing. They talk about having approximately 10 retail customers per everyone in your organization, and let me tell you, that just creates exponentially stupid numbers that I'm not even going to go into. But in reality, this is an optional step. Retailing, which is not selling, once again, it's really just sharing, hey, check this out, look what I've been doing, this is the product that we've been using, I've been doing this, I built this up, blah, blah, blah. It's really just sharing, it's not selling. And it's really optional, because you can really make and achieve all of your goals financially just through building up your organization without having a single membership retail customer in your downline. But like I said, you're just naturally going to pick some of them up along the way. And if you always want to go out after you've built your organization and it's going on without you, there's really two options you can do. You can start over again. You can go out and look for another 5 and build a whole nother organization heading off in another direction, paralleling the one that you already built. That's one option to earn stupidly ridiculous more money. And then the other way too is to just go out there and not recruit anyone, or not sponsor anyone anymore, but just bringing people in as using members of the product and service. So with that, napkin presentation number 3. Tomorrow, John and I, hopefully he's going to be live with some vocal, and we're just going to kind of review the whole concept here of what you're trying to do. And I got something very, very important, a very, very important concept that you guys obviously got, because you've already joined us, you're already on our team, so you've already, I've already pounded this into your head, but it's what you really need to get into your head that you have to drive home to your potential sponsors. With that, everyone, O Universe, we ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to us at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct our own minds to whatever ends we might desire. And with that, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, same bat time, only I'll be on time.